capabilities. Everyone. It is your innate birth gift. I know that there are people who, many people that do what I do, who don't choose to share that, don't really express that. So I'm going to talk to you today about how important it is that you know that, and how you too can turn into your intuition and into your awareness. And I think that that's very important for us to know. One of the things that I will tell you is this, that it is essential to understand. You know, many times think about those of you who have young children or when they were young. Think about how children, in their innocence, and how when they're not tainted by how society shapes them, quite often appear as if they're talking into the air and babbling and talking, where it looks like they're engaging with the presence. Many, many times they are. In their innocence, Elaine's telling me I have to wait for her. You missed it. I just talked about how wonderful Eyes of Learning is and how I began with Eyes of Learning. And one of the things that you can see is that they are actually speaking with another presence.
Not your real daughter.
My real daughter. Oh, that's my other daughter. No, that's someone special in my life. Where am I going? I can sit now?
As children know,
I'm lucky that she let me come.
they don't need to have their five senses validated, okay? As children get older, what happens is we tell them, that's an imaginary friend. There's nobody there. You don't see that. You don't feel it. You don't hear it. That's not always true. When we're born and we're in that state of innate grace and innocence, we're also in the state of the gift, because it is our birthright. When a soul chooses to incarnate, and you do choose to come here, I know you're asking, why would I want to go through this? Why would I want to feel this pain? Why do I want to feel this grief? Why did I choose my family? I'm always asking that question. You chose because you chose to incarnate, to learn lessons, to experience emotions, so that you can work through and you can learn how to love. The love that is only known by the other side. That's what Ascension means. As you grow and you feel and you work it through, your vibration becomes lighter. You're closer to the other side, to heaven, to God, whatever you want to call it. I'm not here to speak to you about religion. I'm here to speak to you about spirituality. So remember, everyone is able to be psychic. Everyone is able to communicate with those who have crossed, with angels, with saints, with masters. Here's your first step. This is what you got to do. You have to be in awareness of that. You have to know that. You have to believe it. If you do not believe, it will not happen. You cannot have fear. You cannot have doubt. Your fear and your doubt and your disbelief prevents you from communicating with everyone on the other side. When I first started doing this, I think it's about 10 years now, it was much more difficult to connect with the other side. There was a very thick layer between us and heaven, or the other side, whatever you want to call it, a veil. And it was very hard. You had to really, really lighten your vibration to get through that. Because of this planet's evolution and the changes we're experiencing, that veil has been lifted. It's gone. There's no layer between us and the other side. Spirit moves in and out constantly. Souls move in and out constantly. That means it's a lot easier for us to tap into our awareness. It's a lot easier for us to communicate with whomever we want to communicate with on the other side. First step, be aware of that. Know that. Believe it. If you don't believe it, it won't happen. Second step, meditate. Absolutely meditate. Daily. I meditate twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day. Meditation. Meditation, the reason why you need to meditate is what you do in that state of altered consciousness, with the deep breathing, with the relaxation. You change your energy on a cellular level. Therefore, your vibration becomes very light, much lighter. Spirit can connect with you very easily, automatically. because their vibration is light. If you're dense and they're light, and believe me, we are dense, very dense, they cannot communicate with you. You have to meditate. You have to light that vibration. Every day. Every day. Third step. So you're in awareness, you're in belief, and now you're meditating. And it's still not happening. People ask me all the time when I teach classes, I don't understand. Messages come to other people. They don't come to me. I don't understand. Okay. Because you're not accepting them. This is a hierarchy of a gift. At the bottom, imagine it's a triangle. At the bottom, the baseline, is intuition. You know that hunch, that gut feeling? Okay, that's the first step. You have to pay attention to that. How many times do you go to pick up the phone and you just know before you pick it up, oh, it's my mother or it's my cousin. And so it is. How many times are you walking into a store or a restaurant and you just have this gut feeling you're going to run into somebody, and there they are. How many times do you know you feel so deeply? People call it gut because a lot of it is in the solar plexus, which is one of your chakras. People know, I shouldn't do this. I really shouldn't curse out my boss today. It's not a good idea. But you go and do it. And you lose your job. Okay? When you have the intuitive feeling and the fear and the doubt comes in and you don't listen to it, you're dismissing communication from the other side. You're dismissing it. You're saying, I don't believe in it. I'm not listening to you. The first step after the meditating, after the belief that this truly does exist, we have a whole world beyond our five senses that we've been taught in school, we've been taught everywhere. Only pay attention if you can see it, hear it, feel it, taste it. When you believe that there's a whole other existence beyond those five senses, and you meditate, and now you start to accept your intuitiveness, and you start to know that those hunches are real, that they're the beginning. You're on your way. You're on your way. After that, it just kind of flows. Okay, the next step is what I call the psychic capability. It's a little bit beyond intuition. Okay, that's a little bit different. It's not just a gut feeling. It is now communication. Okay, via the other side. It comes in many, many different ways. It's clairaudient. You actually hear voice. You hear message. That's how it started for me, by the way. I started to hear things. I was driving home, working 2 jobs, late at night at Page Parkway, very dark. And it's late, I'm tired, it's been a 14-hour day, and I hear this loud, deep, male booming voice. And I'm looking in the back seat and I'm going, okay. I'm losing it, I'm going crazy. And I'm like, no, I'm shaking my head, no, I just want to get home, I'm going to ignore this. It came through even louder and deeper. And it said, you will listen, you will hear it. And so I did. And that was the beginning of how everything started. So clairaudiently, you receive messages through hearing. Okay? Clairvoyantly is the ability to receive, to see into the future, to see events. Sometimes it's almost like it's a movie screen that's flashing, and you just see things that are going to occur. Sentiently is emotion. Many times when I do readings for people or I'm sitting in someone's presence, what I feel is so intensely their pain, their trauma, their emotion. Or I feel from the other side so intently what the message is. Quite often when people have crossed and they're trying to communicate with those that are still here, it's traumatic for them on the other side too. And there's a lot of crying and there's a lot of pouring out of love. And what they do is a universal sign is they will show red roses, and that's a sign of love. And they all do that. There's certain signs that they show that are universal, and all the readers know that. And with that outpouring of love, I feel overwhelmed with pain, and like I just want to cry, with joy and pain at the same time. Okay, that's clairsentient. And then there's this really neat one called telepathic. That one's a tough one. What happens is you start to receive thoughts. They're literally thoughts. Spirit is putting thoughts into your mind. Can you hear me, sir? We're putting thoughts into your mind. The trick is you have to figure out how to know the difference between your thought and spirit's thought. That comes with time, with belief, and with understanding of how to do that. How you start to learn the difference between your thought and spirit thought is you listen intently and deeply to the thoughts that come into your mind. And you'll see that there's a pattern because they're not something you would normally think. Most of the time, they're things that seem really kind of ridiculous to you. And when you start accepting those thoughts and believing in them, they come full even stronger, much stronger. Next step, and this was a tough one for me. In order to stand here and do this, you have to have tremendous respect for this. And you have to be able to say to anyone, no, I know what I'm saying is real. And you have to be able to be strong and committed to that. And you have to be able to know that this is a gift, it is a job that comes with tremendous responsibility. When you are able to sit with someone who's trusting you, and you know that this is not an ego, that you are simply a servant to the other side. When I threw myself down, and I literally did this, I got down on the floor on my knees and said, okay, I give up, I've had enough. I was talking to the other side. They were coming and waking me up all night long. They were coming and bothering me while I was at work. They wouldn't stop. They wouldn't stop talking to me. And I just kept saying, go away, please. I was scared. When I got to the point where I understood, not that I'm different, not that I've been chosen, not that I'm special, but that I was being asked to be a servant. I got down on my knees and I said, okay, I completely, without a doubt, believe I'm yours. Do what you want with me. And I meant that. And people who know me from the beginning of this understand that. At that point, in that moment, my entire life changed. I became their worker, their servant. Everything I do and everything I offer is their communication. I'm a college grad. I went to graduate school. As you know, anybody who understands, you do a tremendous amount of reading in graduate school. When this started to happen for me, I was told by the other side, read nothing. Nothing. We want you, in your experiences, in your words, and being brought with us to the other side, we want everything that you impart, everything that you deliver, everything that you share to be our teaching. We don't want anyone to ever doubt you because they're going to say, you read that in a book. And I read nothing. I do everything they ask me to do. Everything. Even though many times it makes my life extremely difficult. And I have a lot of trouble saying, and I go, really? Are you kidding me? You want me to say that to this person? But I do it. Because of that, this is the step that I'm talking about. Because of that, because of my belief, because I don't doubt anything that they do and they want me to do for them, the gift keeps growing. And I went from psychic to medium. And I moved from medium to medical intuitive, where they allowed me one day all of a sudden to look at someone's body and just scan it, and they tell me, this is what's wrong, this is the emotion they haven't worked through, this is where it's manifesting in what cellular area, and this is what needs to be done. Are you willing to do it? I say, okay. Use me as you will. And they use my body, and I conduit energy. Do I have any certificates? No. Did I ever go to Reiki classes? No. That'd be formal training. No. But I do it and it works. All because I believe. And I committed myself to this process. And I will not stop. And I've taken a lot of heat for it from a lot of people. I've lost many friends. Because I had to lose them, because they didn't believe in what I was doing. We are all children of the other side. We all choose to incarnate over and over again. The people that you come here with are the people that is called your soul family, not necessarily your current family members. Okay, co-workers, friends, real family. You're with them time and time again. The position changes. Your mother this time might have been your brother last time. Okay, we come together over and over again. We contract before we come down on the other side to teach each other lessons. I'm going to teach you this lesson. You're going to teach me that lesson. And that's why we have the issues we have with each other, the experience of emotions we have with each other, because it's all about learning and working them through. You chose it. You choose to be here. Now you need to choose to believe in that and believe in the gifts that you were given when you were born. All you have to do is want to communicate, want to accept communication. And so it shall be. I do a lot of meditations. I just did recently one with the 15 archangels. They come to me, this is how this goes like today. I don't plan anything. I just know, okay, I'm going to speak, I'm going to be there, that's it. I have no cards. This is coming from here, this is channel. I don't plan any of this. They say to me, you will speak on this day, this is what you will speak about, have faith and we will come through. And every single time, you think I'd be used to it now, that I stand up in front of a crowd before I do this, I meditate. I was in my car meditating. And then I come up here, and before I stand here, I go, oh, please, guys, don't make me look foolish, please, bring it through. And they do, because I believe, and I know that I'm supposed to speak what they want me to speak. Okay, I promised I'd deliver messages, and I'm going to do that. First, I'm going to ask, I always cringe when I ask. Anybody have any questions? Yeah.
How do you get over fear? Sometimes I feel like I'm afraid, to hear a message or afraid.
Okay, yeah, it's a good question, and I'm sure many people have that same feeling. Okay, the lady in the back asked, how do you get over the fear? I think you mean the fear of seeing the spirit. Oh, by the way, I will comment on that. They do actually, they come in different ways. When they appear, how they appear and who appears. When I do a reading, I will answer your question in a moment. People ask me all the time when they call for a reading, okay, I'm going to come and I want you to talk to so-and-so. Sorry, that's not how it works. And anyone who tells you it does work that way is not being honest with you. This is how it goes. They control the situation at all times, okay? When I do a reading, who comes through, and what they say is decided on the other side. And that information is to assist you on your path, to illuminate for you some emotion, some situation you're stuck in, to give you that little added gift, like a hint, so that you can move forward into Ascension. Okay, so to answer your question, when I started to see them, they were coming fully, completely looking exactly the way they did when they lived. Or the angels and saints appeared the way they appear. Literally, I was getting full vision. A lot of times when people start to have this gift, they just see like smoky movement. Okay, that is spirit time to come through. When the soul crosses, they have jobs on the other side too. You think your work is done when you leave? It's not. You have jobs. You're given almost a second chance to work out what you've done here. One more chance on the other side, and then you're given an assignment. Many people use the term guardian angel. They're not angels. They're relatives, they're friends that are crossed. Most of them are not angels. It's a soul who's crossed, who's now been assigned as your guardian, as your guide. Fear. I remember when I'm going to kill myself here. I remember when I'm trying to move and hold the thing to my mouth. When I first started to see them, I was very scared. I actually had this gift when I was very young. And people would tell me, you're seeing things, you're imagining things. And I stopped it. Until much later on. I am adopted, and my birth mother crossed over it. And I will tell you very briefly how this actually started that night. You heard me saying I was driving home. What I heard, the message was, she's dead, you need to look for her. When I did look for her, she in fact did die the day that I got that message. And that's how all of this opened up. She wanted to communicate, and so she did. But I needed to hear that message and look for her and believe in it. So when I did hear that and I started to receive, I'm not kidding. They were waking me up all night long. They were in front of me, standing in rows of angels, rows of angels. Excuse my language, but scared the crap out of me. At that point, I think I came to Ms. Resnick and another individual said, can you please help me? Because I don't know what to do, and I'm really scared. The fear, once I understood the purpose of their presence, and I understood my purpose, that this is a job I've been given, the fear went away. How to get over the fear is to work it through and to really go deeply within and ask yourself, why am I afraid of this? They won't harm you, and they won't. They won't. Yes.
I was meditating, for instance, today it was going well. And then I started to, I guess, what is this shot?
Count on here.
Okay, I'll repeat it. I'm going to paraphrase for you. She was meditating, and she started to get these little shots, like glimpses of a movie. Okay. Auditory, verbal messages, 3 words. Nothing makes sense. Okay, the pictures don't go together. Yes. Well, it's important to know too. You bring out a good point. When Spirit wants to communicate with you and reach you, they will do it predominantly. If you have fear, they will do it predominantly in your dreams. Okay. Those that cross, that are still that kind of just, and I don't mean in our time frame that recently crossed. I don't mean our time frame. I mean on the time frame of the other side. They're going to come to you in dreams. When you get messages like that you see a vision and you hear a voice here and there, and you think they don't make sense because in our linear fashion they're not making sense. What happens is the more you say, okay, I open myself to believe that this is real, and you jot it down, you'll start to see the more you believe in it and you accept the messages that you're given, you're going to start to see a pattern and learn how to put them together. So don't, again, I go back to what I said, I think it was in step number 2. Don't dismiss your gut feeling. Don't dismiss whatever you receive. That's a big hurdle. When you start to receive information and you believe it's real, because if you don't believe, none of this is going to happen. I'm telling you that. I can promise you that. If you don't believe, it's not going to happen. You have to believe. Once they, I call it the keyhole. Once they put the key in the keyhole and they know they got you, that you believe, it's going to happen. It's going to flood. I have to ask, actually, I'm going to deliver because I promised I would do that. I have a Peter coming through, a Peter who crossed. Can anyone take a Peter? Okay, is that the only one that's going to relate to? Now remember, please understand, when Spirit comes through, there's one telephone. Hundreds of people that want to make a phone call, okay? Keep an open perspective. It could be that you're delivering it to someone that you know that's not here. That's 2 people, okay. This is father or grandfather energy that's coming through. Okay, something to do, and everybody else, please listen, because this may be for you to offer to someone you know that you work with or a friend or something. It's someone who had to do with boating. I don't know if that was a hobby or if it was his job in the boating industry, so none of you can take that. But Peter going on. Okay, I also have a Joseph coming through. This seems like grandfather or once removed to the left, which is a great-grandfather energy. Can anyone take that? Who is this to you? It's a grandfather energy? Yeah. Is there a Maria in the family connected? Yeah.
My name's Malia.
Okay. And it's your grandfather, Joseph's your grandfather? How did you say your name?
Malia.
Yes.
And I have relatives Maria.
Okay, there's a Maria. He's connected to a Maria. Did he have a daughter named Maria?
I have an aunt that just died named Maria.
So is that his person's daughter? Because there's a connection to Maria. Maria just crossed. Yeah. Was it? May I ask you? That's another thing. When you deliver, you always approach with "May I." You must receive permission. May I?
Yeah.
Maria's crossing. I feel that there was a lot of pain there. There was a lot of but it was not a short. It was a long, very drawn out. Okay, this is for you. Okay. Actually, it's not for you. It's for you to take to a family member that I think I'm picking up. It's a female family member. Did Maria have a daughter?
Tish.
Is it Trish? I'm hearing.
Tish.
That's the other thing too. You kind of go with the sound that you hear. Okay, this is for this child, this daughter. That's Maria's daughter, correct? And this is Joseph's it's your grandfather, it's her uncle, great uncle. Is that what it is?
Yeah, everything.
Okay.
Her grandmother's who survived husband's house. That's grandmother.
Okay, got it. Okay.
And he's doing work up there.
Okay. He's guarding 3. He's assigned to 3, and he's laughing because there was a religious crossover or something in the family. Okay, yeah, he's laughing because how he just appeared to me was with a yarmulke, but he's got a cross on. He's going like this to me.
She's Jewish.
Okay.
But in marriage, the kid's Jewish.
Okay.
But she was Catholic.
The young, I don't mean to be rude, I'm losing the connection. The young lady that he's referring to is, she's either, she just did or she's going to make a choice about schools, what direction she's going in. She's
Me?
No. Trish, whoever this is. She's going to be a point where she's going to make a decision about what direction she's going in.
She's moving.
Okay, but this is school. It's going to be school. There's going to be a point. Just deliver this for her because what May is coming. She's going to decide. She's going to go to school. She's going to decide after embarking on something. I don't want to do this anymore. I changed my mind, but it's a different career.
I think she told me she wanted to do graphic.
Okay, well then there you go, because that's what she's supposed to do. Okay, thank you. Okay, my message is done. Joseph was communicating. All of this was via this gentleman, Joseph. Message complete. Please deliver that.
Thank you for my daughter and my granddaughter. It's the best thing I got today. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions?
Do I know you?
I think so. Any other questions? No, okay. Oh, I'm sorry, yes.
How do you know that this message is coming of the light rather than from?
In light. Is there darkness? I don't ever use the word evil. I don't believe in that term. But yes, there's darkness. I've worked with people who have been. I've actually done. I don't know what you would call it, but they've had a spirit inside of them and take over, and I've exorcised that spirit. I've done that. I don't fear that. This is why I do what I do. I don't fear it. I don't fear it. I don't believe that I will ever be harmed for doing. I call it God's work. I call it being a servant. Okay? I was born and raised Catholic in a very strict Italian Catholic family. Went to church every weekend. Didn't have the pasta until you went to church. I do not go to church any longer. Occasionally I do, but what I can say to you is that I believe spirituality in itself is my religion now. I still wear a cross. I still believe in Catholicism. I work with the saints all the time, or I should say they work with me. Because I don't fear it. And if you, any of you, if you do this work or you want to do this work, I urge you, please, to work only in light and protect yourself in light. It's as simple as this. Ask it. You ask the other side. You ask for their light. You ask them to protect you. And they will. As long as your intentions are good, they will. Any other questions? Okay. Let me just... I'll keep talking until they tell me. Very good. Okay, here's another thing I want to talk to you about. The planet changes. The evolutionary changes. So, any of you that got that piece of paper that you're sitting on with my face, you're probably sitting on my face right now. They were put on your chairs. One of the things I moved out of medical intuitive into now communicating with galactic beings. I didn't ask for them, they came to me. And one of the things you need to know is that you're not to be fearing 2012. It's not something to fear. We are moving forward in light. This planet is in evolution. Just like its sister planets. There are 3 of them. Chiron, Pleiades, and Capron. They all changed. Those planets are older than we are, and they all went through an evolution. Evolution means this. The duality of darkness and light are coming closer together. It is a battle, and light will prevail. It always does, it always will. Many souls, the reason why you're seeing the quakes and the tsunamis, many souls have contracted to leave. Because what's going to come in is a new version of younger souls, lighter souls. That's why we have so many autistic children. And I work in school, I work with children. We have so many gifted kids that nobody can seem to understand that it's really a gift. So these souls have to come in. And there's going to be a new dimension of light. The veil has already been lifted. You heard me say that before. That was the beginning. Spirit will walk amongst us. You will see them. You will fear them. Feel them. That was a Freudian slip. Feel them. They'll be right there next to you. That's how easy the gift is going to be and how you're all going to be using it. And we will communicate telepathically. That will be our sole source of communication, no pun intended. You're not to fear these earth changes. You're to understand them in a much different light. The chakras of the planet are cleansing itself. There's been much damage and much darkness on this planet. And it's time to change, and that's what's happening. So don't fear it. Protect yourself. Ask for protection. Ask for light. Ask for your home to be in love and light. Ask for your family to be protected. And so it shall be done. All that you ask for will be done. Simply for the asking, as long as you believe. Now, does anybody want to ask me anything? Okay.
You one comment that drives me crazy and really loves it. That you told me I turned the universe upside down.
Okay, Elaine wants me to quote.
It still blows my brain.
One of the things that, if you guys heard that I shared with you before Elaine walked in the room, is how really she was one of the first people that assisted me on this journey, and me coming here is where the journey began. And one of the things I told her was that she turned the universe upside down. Just to let you know, Long Island, there will be some water rising on the island. Initially, when I saw that, I saw a lot of the island, a lot of the land being swallowed by water. As light workers, and that's anyone who does this kind of work, has been meditating and praying for the change. I don't see that any longer. I see the island staying mostly intact. And your prayers and your meditations and everything you do changes the vibration. It changes the vibration. It makes the light lighter, and that's why we're okay. So keep doing it. I'm going to just repeat for you before I finish. Remember, you're all psychic, you're all gifted, everyone's a psychic, everyone's a medium, everyone's a medical intuitive. You can all communicate with beings in the other planets if you choose to. It's not my favorite thing, but they came to me, I'm doing it. All you have to do is this. Be an awareness that this is your gift. Have the desire to use it. Respect it. Meditate daily. Raise your vibrations through your meditations. Do not have fear. Do not have doubt. Ask for assistance at all times. White light yourself and guide yourself and guard yourself. Respect everything you receive as it is a message, even though it may not make sense to you. Respect it. Retain it. Big one. When I first started doing this, I was afraid to give people the messages I was receiving. Once I started doing it, the more you do it, it's like a skill, like playing a piano. The more you do it, the more you practice it, the better you get at it. Not only because you build the confidence, but the messages are validated. Whenever I do private readings, I always tell people, please, shoot me an email, validate whatever you can. Because that helps me too. That helps me know I'm doing what they want me to do the right way. There's no, it's not like reading that you pick up a textbook and there's a way to do this. Every reader functions differently. It's based on the person's personal interpretation. So the more I do it, the more I know certain symbols mean something, like red roses, I know what that means. I know once we move to the left, I know what that means in terms of family delivery, etc., etc. I encourage everyone to please meditate. Do this. You can do this.
Did you write the book yet?
I did not write the book yet.
Well, you better do it.
I'm halfway.
Read it.
No, I'm a quarter way through. By the way, I do this. This is not my full-time gig. Okay, I work full-time. I do this in addition to that. But I have a feeling that it will soon become what I do full-time, and I'm manifesting that. Manifestation. One last thing really important, okay? Our thoughts, our feelings, our beliefs have energy. Einstein was a masterful genius. He understood that. Everything has energy. That's why I can read a soul. That's why I can receive spirit. It's energy that I'm receiving. I'm reading energy. What you think, what you believe, okay, you're putting energy into it. Very simple example. You look in the mirror in the morning, and even though you might be dieting and losing weight, you say, oh, I look fat. You're putting energy into that. You're putting energy into feeling like you're fat. You had a fight with your mother-in-law or your father-in-law. You're very distressed over it. And you say, oh, I hate them. You're putting energy into that. Okay, that energy, that manifestation will become a reality. We can create our own reality. I'm getting the time signal. We can create our own reality. Remember that in your thoughts, in your feelings, in your beliefs. I want to thank you, everyone, for being here and being patient and trusting in what I'm delivering. Thank you.